Hi everyone, it's Halloween today, and this is a message for light workers, but maybe just humanity in general. Not maybe. This is a message for humanity in general, as we're all a part of the dictation of this craft within the darkness of crafting what it means to participate in a vile, evil relationship with source consciousness by celebrating the opposition of everything source represents in our field. And that's just it. It may be fun to knock on strangers' doors. It may have been fun for a very long time throughout cycles within these annual cycles within Gaia's field to celebrate Halloween, to dress our kids up in cutesy little animals and cutesy little figurines and cutesy little representations of whatever they want to be, to fulfill these fantasies of our children, of who they want to become on this day of Halloween, and just step into that energy of being that and knocking on strangers' doors to trick or treat, to ask for candy, to ask for a handout, to ask the participation of a whole entire society that stepped into this energy of give and take, of the give and take of energy frequency. And I know you may not see it the way I'm speaking about it. You may be like, what is she on? It's just the innocent children, and we're not parading them around by any means, like knocking on people's doors, knocking on the darkness, knocking on anyone's doors that didn't also agree to have this fun experience, to also parade their children around in the activation of the darkness within their field. That is literally what it is. Just because you can't see energy, it doesn't mean that it's not there. And I'm here to tell you the whole entire point that Yeshua discredits the aspect within humanity to celebrate the opposition of the self to be a true holiday is because of this energy transfer. It's because of this grossly integrated intent that's been meticulously crafted by the satanic cults and within Satan's lair, within Lucifer's backyard, that sits so deeply anchored, so deeply on top of God's land, on top of source consciousness within the free will of our spiritual realm, that we allow these energies into, to craft us and take us onto the exploration of self, to experience these experiences unknowingly, unbeknownst to men, unbeknownst to the children, because they're too innocent to know of the repercussions of this energy. Had you wanted to participate in Halloween, and had you taken the kids into a neighborhood, a seemingly safe, perceivable neighborhood, to knock on the doors of these strangers whose energy that you encompass, because you've also decided to celebrate in this holiday, just know that the chances of you landing onto the footpath of a person who has a demonic attachment is extremely, extremely rare. Yet, the possibility is there, you guys. Lurking in the shadows within our spiritual realm, demons do exist, and they spread through energetic attachments. They feed off of people's turmoil so that they can expand in frequency and fractal out parts and portions of themselves. They can rage bait people into dropping their frequency to such a low level to manipulate a stranger, like a random person, to craft some random event. And if you are that unsuspecting stranger, say if you're going through a road rage and you get caught off guard and you snap back and you drop yourself down to the level of the person with this attachment, the attachment will not hesitate to fractal out a portion of itself to latch onto you. That's how scary it is, ladies and gentlemen. And just because you can't see it, that doesn't mean that energy is not there. And then what? And once it's latched onto you, you will be carrying that frequency, that energy, and you won't know how to get rid of it. Because guess what? The whole reason this reality field is so hard to surpass within the spiritual equity of the growth, within the karmic cycles, within the reincarnation cycles, within our soul's destiny, is due to the secrecy, shrouded within the secrecy of the darkness of how they operate, of how this lower vibrational frequency of entities, of consciousness itself operates, to be perceived within the perception field of the humanity, of the people, of the humanoids walking on this earth. We were trained not only to have amnesia, we were taught not only to be on a blank slate, but that's our reality. We fractaled into this reality field to live this amnesia, to experience the opposition within the self, to learn these lessons by the end of each and every lifetime, to carry home these distortion fields, to live it, to feel it, to breathe it. But that's no more going to be an acceptable experience in today's day and age, during the opening up of our third eye, of the evolution of consciousness. We are walking through the gates of hell in this very moment in time to find ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. And as a whole entire conglomeration of a humanity field begins to open up their perception field to God consciousness, just know within your being of all beings, within the pits of your heart chakra, within your heart of all hearts, that no difficulty comes without the surpassing of Source's frequency that allowed us to step into this difficulty to carry home these lessons. And it's okay upon your free will if you wish to celebrate Halloween. But for God's sake, come to a realization in the free will that you have on a conscious level in this lifetime, to realize what you're opening up your doors to. And then maybe, just maybe, you can consciously awaken those children from their nap after school, dress them up, holler at your neighbors, to gather all the kids to go knock on strangers' doors and, sort through these candies at the end of the night and be so happy that the chances are you've probably did escape a demonic attachment, but chances are 0.03% of the population would have been able to pick up an external energy field that's not theirs, that the darkness within itself expanded exponentially within our field through the innocent fields of these children who are knocking on their doors for this energy exchange, you guys. And you may believe me, you may not, but I'm just out here to speak on God's land, God's truth. Celebrate it if you want. Happy Halloween to those who celebrate, and I completely respect that. Those are your beliefs. Those are, the things that make you happy when you put your head on your bed, on your pillow, when you place your left ear on the pillow at night if you sleep on your side. But at the end of the day, in your dreamscape, you go back to God's land and you're protected by God, who should be celebrated all days of the week. And I'm going to take my kids trick-or-treating. There's no judgment on any of that because they're so used to it. But I've made it clear to them that this will be the last year of seemingly normalcy that you're going to be able to step into. And yes, you've been so excited to do this because it's been a tradition up until now for us, before I had my spiritual awakening. But not after, not knowing what really happens in places like this. And yeah, I'm going to step out there and clear as many demonic entities and energies because I know how to. And I can serve humanity in that way tonight. But if we go out there, if I take my children out there, and I've pulled them aside and had this conversation with them because they're like, 12, 11, and 10, they're old enough to understand that we're not celebrating Halloween, we're participating. And in the fact that you're celebrating, you're allowing these energies into your field. But in the fact that you're participating, you can freely participate and worship God and have 2 feet on Yeshua's land. But as soon as you celebrate the existence of the other side, of the darkness, of the reflection within the self, of the turmoil that it's ever caused within the deathscape, within the torturous defeats of humanity's past, present, and future trajectories, then you may as well be allowing that energy into your family's energy bodies, which is unpredictable, you guys. So if you come across this video, just keep it in mind. If you plan on taking your kids out, that's okay. You're not asked by God to shift your life and, unparticipate in all that you know, but just know that you shouldn't be celebrating the meaning behind Halloween. Just participate and be happy and go home protected, and go home and lie down on your left ear and go into a dreamscape of God's land and be morally correct in all that you represent. That's all. Because humanity is good. It's truly really good. And by chance that you pick up that entity, it's not the end for you, but it'll be a long road towards recovery and a long road towards awakening to the energy of God. Again, of coming to a realization of everything that's tried to stop God from taking precedence in our reality.